right. Hello and welcome to Belonging Songs. Belonging Songs is the podcast that brings you a brand new original song with each episode. We talk about the theme of that song, the processes that went into writing and recording it, the revisions that we make along the way. You get to hear a song go from a little baby demo into a finished track each episode, and I am your host, Wade Dana. With me today down in the studio, my good buddies, Patrick Crane.
Hello, Wade.
Hey. Bradley Maurer.
Yo,
we're back for a new season. I think this is going to be the first episode. So, welcome back.
I mean, if they're joining us halfway through the season, they can listen to whatever they want.
Back. Yeah, that's true. I mean, technically, we had episode
Any
0.
episode can be your first episode.
2023
theme reveal last week, which,
They probably missed because they're joining halfway.
it's off to a good start.
Yeah,
right.
Rule number 1 of podcasting, degrade your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Then talk about something else for a half an hour, like tennis.
Right.
Okay.
Welcome to the music podcast. Talk about
Or we
tennis.
bring you tennis.
Or do this. What have you guys been up to?
We already talked. I told you that. We used
Ship
up.
Fest.
Yeah, let's tell that story. So we're here on a weeknight,
Yeah.
kind of by accident. This is our second time getting together to record in the off season. So since the end of September, this is only session number 2, and it's a Wednesday evening, which is not the norm because that's a school night. But I was sending out to our text thread like, "Hey, we need to podcast soon. I'd like to get this season going," and got some responses that Patrick is going to be out of town. So, dates are getting scarce, and I was going to be doing this or that for the holidays. And then Brad comes in with a whole big message about,
Hey,
yeah, you going to read it?
somebody threw out Wednesday.
Yeah.
Right? And Patrick is notoriously very busy.
Yeah, Brad is always free.
I enjoy.
Yeah.
I enjoy trying to keep up with Patrick's life because he's in D.C. You're over where else?
Yeah, I'm going to
were you?
Mexico next
Mexico
week.
next
no
week.
big
A lot
deal.
going on. So I said Wednesday could work. I'll be in Duluth January 1st and 2nd. Then I'll be back for the 3rd and 4th. Then off to Carson City from the 5th to the 8th. Then Juneau for 2 days until 2 weeks in Galveston for Ship Fest.
So I was like, we better get this in Wednesday
Yeah.
because I thought Brad was dead serious.
None of that.
And apparently, none of that was real.
None of that
And
was
here
real.
we are on a Wednesday night.
What am I doing going to Galveston?
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. The best part is, joke was on me, and I didn't get it.
Yeah, because Brad was
yeah.
making fun of Patrick.
I read it to Wade's wife. She laughs immediately.
Yeah,
Knows it's a
immediately.
joke.
Not the brightest of this trio.
So anyway,
So we're here on a Wednesday.
yeah, it worked out. We're here. We're trying.
Which
to get
is when
these
we
in.
record our best stuff. is
Yeah, typically.
Work
Yeah,
nights.
Work nights is perfect.
Yep.
Never tired by
No.
7.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? We got dark.
Yeah, we got a
we
new
going to get a
song.
song out of this?
Song by me.
Nice.
Kick off the season.
I noticed that when
I don't remember who kicked off last season. I think it was also me.
Yes.
Yeah, this song's called Dark. It's a new song that I started writing on the guitar. Let me find my notes here. I have some phone demos from this one, so we'll get to hear where the idea started. And the first ones are from October 6th. I was sitting over here in the other room watching some TV at night. Must have been in between seasons of like something I really cared about because I was like, I want to play some guitar while I sit here.
Probably baseball.
Yeah, it could have been baseball. And so, October 6th, yeah, still could have been baseball, but this is what I pretty much immediately started playing. Oh, if you are a creative person and it strikes you to do the thing that you're creative at in a moment, just probably should
the
do
thing.
it. To probably do
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
Because I like basically picked up my guitar and then played this little ditty, which is muted. So welcome back. Looks like it's pretty long.
Would
You fall off the couch.
Yeah, maybe.
He fell asleep.
So the main idea is that first thing there.
Nice.
You can tell,
Yep.
and whatever. That's I actually have a second recording from the same night, so I'm just getting ideas, So this was a little later in the evening, and I recorded this.
Same night.
Yep.
Got it.
Got back on the couch.
So you hear it kind of picks up on the idea I was kind of getting at.
Yeah.
You could tell I was fumbling around before. Yeah, so that fleshes out that kind of second part. Clearly didn't have anything earlier in the evening, but I got that. So I laid that down. And then nothing until October 28th. So weeks, almost a month later, I had this other recording. And during that time, it was just kind of like pick up the guitar, play those couple parts, see if anything else happens. Obviously nothing did until I got this next little phone demo. Here's some kids in the background. I think I was recording that in the sunroom. And I don't always have phone demos like this for every song, but I was going through my phone and remembered I did have these. And I think it just gives you a good idea of sometimes how long these things take to come together. Those are just like 3 ideas over the course of a month that I was playing with, before I started laying any tracks down for this song.
Were you putting them together thinking they were linked the whole time? Or was the last one like you playing another part somewhere else?
No, I think when I came up with
You were
that last
constantly
one, I
kinda
was
having
like,
that
I
idea.
had those same chords in mind from the previous, 2 versions there. So that's what I was armed with, basically, as I started to structure this song. And then came down here, did the thing where I set up a click track in Pro Tools, play my arranged song on guitar, usually pretty poorly because I'm just trying to get the idea down. Then open up a drumming program, pick drum parts for each of the different parts in the song. So then I can now go back and record the guitar for real. And then I have like a groove. And that's something, Brad, I would like you to do a little more of, is pick different parts for your different parts. Because I know a lot of times your move is to just do the one beat throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think that might help to get you some more different
Action.
rhythms and stuff.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Just a little thing that might be fun for you to try.
Like
Brad looked like a
didn't
school
look
kid
like he
getting
wanted-
called out
Yeah.
while he was doodling.
He got me.
Brad, maybe if you could join the class.
Well, there's
Wait a
Brad's-
minute.
There's Brad's forthcoming song, Veil, if
Yeah.
that's what you did. And I just think
That's
like
true.
that could help.
I agree.
Anyway, so I do that. I lay down the guitar, and then typically the next day or even that day, sometimes I'll lay down a bass. And then it's usually time to get some vocals because then you
Yeah.
have drum, guitar, and bass.
This is insane.
And-
It takes that long.
Yeah.
You guys
And-
throwing down bass before vocals.
Oh, yeah. Always,
It's,
usually.
it's insane to me.
And that's I already have the vocals.
Yeah.
And I write the
It's
song
not
to the
insane to
vocals.
me. Like I think
No one dances to the vocals.
I think I'm wrong in this. Like like if you think about conceptually, like a band
You want your groove?
is gonna play the song and then the singer's gonna come in and write the lyrics. But like I have to know what I'm singing about to finish the song.
Yeah, you and I definitely differ in that regard. I've told listeners on this show I have 2 ways of writing songs. This way, where I have the music first, I want to get drums, bass, and guitar down, and then I do the vocals, usually while listening to the song. So I wrote the vocals for this in the studio over the course of like a week, looping different parts, getting ideas, writing them down. Or the other way I'll write a song is I write all the lyrics first without having any music, but almost always while I'm writing, I get the melodies, like I write with melody.
Yeah.
Melodies start to form as I write the words. So, and then I come down and have to like figure out how to play it to that. So this was the former. So all the music first. And then I came down, like I said, wrote the lyrics. And the idea is kind of based
Brad
on,
drawing a condom.
I don't know, I think he's got like a Ninja Turtle and without a shell, or a frog. I don't know.
Hey, yeah, this is gonna come. It'll come to fruition.
All right. Remember, we'll be directing our listeners to our Instagram page at the end of the episode.
It's a frog jumping into a condom.
It's clearly enthralled by the conversation.
I'm listening here.
Is that Dat Boy?
No. Patrick's mind's in the gutter.
Is that QAnon frog?
Yeah, no.
Pepe?
Pepe? Helps when you have talent.
I'm just going to let this roll for a while. See what happens here. Keep going, Brad.
Anyway, what were you saying?
I don't think Patrick can handle it yet.
I'm not ready. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Yeah, I knew he wasn't.
He's not ready.
Okay. The lyrics. So I had written a song years ago based loosely on this idea, but I lost the lyrics. Good story, right? I don't have the lyrics. They're gone.
Yeah.
But that's where the kind of impetus for writing these lyrics came from. And this is going to be a little confusing because we're going to have a song this season called Dark Black. This song's called Dark. Please listen to the Dark Black song when it comes out. It's not a repeat. It's a different song. It's an instrumental. I didn't intend for that to happen. I was sitting down here when I finished the song. I was like, what am I going to call this? And I was kind of like, damn it. I want to call it Dark. But there's a song up on the board, Dark Black, and you can see right above it.
Yeah.
Dark.
I think our listeners are smart enough to figure that out. They're smarter than us.
Well, remember season 1 when I had that song called Finale and then nobody listened to the actual finale?
Hang on a minute. I mean, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
It's a different thing altogether.
Whole different animal.
It's not like Dark is a double coverage where like the beginning of the season is when it's dark.
Well, now they're going to think that.
Like finale's a word on its own. That is the end of a season.
Yeah.
You had the song in the middle of the season called Finale.
Brad, how you doing on your drawing there?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Is that a cannon or a wheelbarrow?
It's supposed to be a cannon.
Okay.
This guy, I had an idea midway through where this guy was going to be shot out of it. This started as arrows. It turned into a condom. And then I started drawing the wheels, and it was like, it got worse.
And that's a butthole.
Because there was balls now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, the whole thing.
All right. I think we should listen to this song. That's a good setup.
So I'm trying to.
Yeah, I think that leads us right in.
There's no solo in this, so there's an empty spot where you're gonna be like, clearly that's where the solo goes. And this has fake drums and 4 guitar tricks, bass, and some backing vocals. So here we go. I like to stay up real late, 'cause at night you don't feel like you're wasting the day. You can let your mind race. Think about how I know I'm not fun like I used to be. I know I'm not young anymore. Apparently that didn't suit me. Maybe I feel better now that it's dark, where the worries are harder to see. I won't even need to close my eyes. I really should go to sleep. I really should go to sleep. I'm still full of dreams, like I used to be. Some got lost, but others I can still reach. If when I wake they don't elude me. Maybe I feel better now that it's dark, where the worries are harder stay up real late. 'Cause at night you don't feel like you're wasting the day. You can let your mind race.
I like that little palm muted note and that little last part, just little click.
Brad's just admiring his
Yeah,
drawing
I think we
there.
all are.
No, I made a note. I have some notes.
You,
Looks like
you
you
drew a
just shaded the
halo on
pubes
your
a little more.
condom.
Yeah, I mean,
It's got yeah.
try to
It's
cross
nice
it out.
sunset now. Yeah.
What is this? The Doodle Show now?
Read
Did you
your
do
note.
this the same way as the other one with one single vocal?
Yeah.
For most of it, right?
So, well, listeners won't know, but
Yeah.
So, this is something I want to do this season is get away on certain songs from the doubled vocal and just have the single main vocal track by itself. So to do that, I do a bunch of takes of each line and then pick the best parts. I mean, it's vocal comedy. That's what we should be doing this whole time.
That's what the pros do.
It's what the bros do.
But
and I'm really liking the results I'm
Yeah,
getting.
I think it's effective in this song for the mood.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really good. Singing style is like a hybrid, I think, of what you normally do with some kind of new elements thrown in there, which is something we've been talking about offline a little bit.
Yeah.
And probably later podcasts, but we keep it to this. The only thing that I would have as a critique at all is in the sort of when it gets bigger in the at times, I feel like toward the end, the time vocal and the actual vocals clash a little.
I think you're right. And that's something I was hoping to actually work on a little more before we recorded. I 100% agree. And I think it's the main vocal track that I want to change because I like them.
Yeah, I like
I
that
don't
too.
think that can't go away.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the backing vocal tracks in the session.
Yeah.
But I like those more than the.
Yeah.
So I laid down the original track and then sang that, and I think I need to change the main vocal
Okay.
track
Because what I had
to play off of that more.
Yeah, my note was either that is a good idea or separate it, right? Like figure out a way to take that backing vocal away from that vocal and put it somewhere else so it's happening in a different place, like maybe a different ear. But however,
I think there's clashing.
however
notes
you
there.
achieve that, because at first I was like, ooh, sounds a little out of tune, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's just you're doing something else. But
Yeah.
that was the only thing that like I was like, everything else it plays well, like it listens well.
It's a pretty short song.
Yeah, exactly. And so like there's not a whole lot that you need to do, I think, to clean it up. I think it's a good song.
Patrick.
I'll take Shadow Stevens for the block. I, honest to God, have no other notes. I'm ready for this to be done. No.
When I say this, I mean my life.
My life, yeah. No, my only note is additive, which is put the solo in there, and I just hear a really clean tone, like Telecaster sound, playing that solo, just
Really?
plucky. Yeah.
Brad doesn't.
No, I hear kind of slidey.
Okay. I wanted to ask. I've thought about putting slide guitar to cap the
He's
song.
gonna say no. Patrick's gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
You love slide guitar.
I do love slide guitar, but I also know it can't go in every song.
Yeah. I hear it in the song a little bit.
No, I hear this song
right
like,
before the vocals start. Like, I might play with it a little.
Okay, do what you want. You want me to just go upstairs, pack it up?
Because that would be the only other thing is like something like that this song kind of could use a constant from beginning to end, and that might be something that could go in and out constantly.
So there's the spot for the solo, but I have some question as to whether that should be a solo or if I should do more lyrics.
I don't think lyrics.
No.
I don't
Okay.
think lyrics either.
I think a break,
Okay.
a musical break, whether it's a guitar solo or whether it's just like an ensemble kind of thing, whatever, is better for that spot.
Okay.
I think it's already kind of, for its length and everything, it's kind of, for lack of a better term, wordy. But there's enough lyrics, I think.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
It doesn't matter what I say
Yeah.
anymore. Yeah.
Whatever, man. You ever get blown out of a condom cannon? You should try it.
It'd be pretty cool if
It's like
I
a
did.
trampoline cannon. Just pull it back.
Right. So yeah, it sounds like I've got a little bit of work to do.
Yeah,
there.
like re-recording a whole episode.
At least editing heavily.
Yeah.
I agree about those end vocals. I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to add the solo. I might play around with some more elements.
Yeah.
But I don't want to mess with it too much because I do like the vibe. And if I do add those slide guitars, they're not going to be like prominent.
Subtle. Yeah.
It'd be just like kind of little things in the background.
But still, like I said, something like consistent that kind of comes in and out through the whole thing. I think would be good.
Let's get technical a little. We showcased my update saga on the theme song reveal episode. One of the new features in Pro Tools is now that Melodyne, which is basically auto-tune. That's what people know. It's a way you can correct your vocal tuning. Is now built into Pro Tools using what's called ARA technology, which is audio random access, which just means everything is done so much quicker. Before I would have to, I want to tune my vocals, I have to play the song in real time, tell Melodyne, the program, to record them, and then I can go in and tweak them. Now I can just turn it on, and it just automatically does everything and comes up on a screen. So that's one of the features I played with a lot in here. I do tune the vocals on most of her songs, but the goal is to try not to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to be more selective about doing that. And that means getting better vocal takes to begin with, which the vocal comping thing is a big part of. I did go through and tune them up a little bit. It's something that really does tighten up background vocals. Those ones you were talking about, I'm not the best singer, so sometimes those notes are a little off, especially when you're trying to move and hit a note, or when you're doing one of these songs, you tend to start low and go up to it. So that's something that you can correct with Melodyne, and I did a little bit of that.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh, I tune your vocals.
Oh, no. Hey, no, hang on a minute. I knew tuning vocals was a thing. I didn't know that the A1A Detroit Avenue was into Pro Tools. Right.
Yeah, so do you know how to use Elastic Audio at all?
A little bit, yeah.
If you click that menu.
It sounds like, Brad, maybe you should.
Melodyne's not
know
an
you
option
don't.
in there. But you should leave that to me, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
anyway.
Unless you want to use it as an effect, which you can do. So you could do one take, double it, and then turn Melodyne on your double take, select it all, and move it to a different octave or note, and then you've got an instant vocal harmony, which won't sound supernatural, but it's an effect that you could play with.
I might play with that.
That might be fun.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing. But yeah, I knew you tuned my vocals.
Dick.
And I give you about 3 takes to blend. So.
All right, I think we're going to jump to the future on this song.
That's
when we
a good
come back,
idea,
hopefully
while
it
we're
will
still
be
friends.
when we come back, it'll be further along and hopefully mixed, and hopefully we can finish this episode out. So we'll see you when we get back from this. Set course. To the future! Okay, we are back. Welcome to this second half of the episode for Dark. Song by me. Needed to have drums put on it. Needed a solo. Luckily, we have a drummer. Welcome, Chad, to the cast.
Hello.
Patrick is not with us, but we're going to meet up with him later. Hit the slopes, do some skiing. Maybe get his thoughts on this at some point.
Insert his thoughts here. Okay.
So yeah, big part of getting this finished was Chad coming in, putting the drums down. So him and I sat here, went through it, and got some really good stuff. Pretty much used almost one full take for this song.
Good.
I just did a couple little edits. I think one at the end. We had talked about keeping the beat going a little. I actually ended up bringing it back down because I didn't want a cymbal hit in there. So that was really the only edit I did. So the drums are basically one take. It was, I think, the last one we did because we had really been kind of sussing out what to do on each part as the day went on.
We tried to orchestrate it a lot more than some others, just as far as keeping it simple and doing, intro with no cymbal hits and ending with no cymbal hits and just going back to a very rudimentary beat.
Yeah. Yeah, and that worked out really good. As always, helps to elevate the song. Let's see what else. I fixed some vocals that were at the end, Brad, that you had commented on, and I agreed with, that were clashing. Like what happened was I had sung my background vocals, and they ended up being better, cooler than my original vocals. Yeah. And I didn't have time to fix it.
I didn't know here to separate them, right?
Yeah, I actually just re-recorded the main vocal track to fit that better. That takes that problem away. Added the solo that was missing, and Patrick had mentioned hearing a Telecaster style in his head, and that's what I used. I put new strings on my Telecaster, and it's like a clean solo. But what I did was play two dueling solos almost, because I liked the idea of mirroring the verse guitars, which are two guitars. So I tried to think of it like people would be playing it.
Yeah, like a live thing.
Yeah,
right?
like we were together playing it. Like now I have arranged for two guitars, So
nice.
And I thought that worked out pretty good. We had talked about me wanting to put some accents in some of the breaks, and I had mentioned slide guitars, and Patrick said no, and then I was like, I'm going to do it anyway. But I didn't. He was right. I did want little accents in there, and they're very subtle. There's like 3 different parts that I put them in, and you'll hear those just kind of come in. They're just like a one note type of thing, and I kept them kind of low, and I think that really helped to fill out those empty spots. And it's not slide guitar, so we need to kick up the energy on the second half, because as I was editing this episode, we sounded a little tired. We had mentioned it was late at night, and this was going to be the first episode of the season because we were waiting for Brad to finish up a song, which...
But
we figured that out. We got it done.
But we blew it with the energy.
Yeah, but we blew it with the energy. So I was editing both of them. I actually went to edit this first because I was like, this is going to be the first episode of the season. And I got it done. And this was a couple nights ago. And it was pretty late at night. And I was like, man, I don't know if I want that to be the first one.
You should play some music behind it.
So, yeah. Sound better.
Yeah, bump it up a little bit.
So
get it grooving.
That same night, I went back and I edited the Veil episode too.
Yeah.
It was like 11 at night. And I was like, I'm going to do this one too, just to see which one is going to be better. And that one just like was better. We introduced the season better.
We were alive.
So yeah. So
cool.
Let's kick it up here.
All right. Dark.
Those are the only things I did other than the mix. I obviously did a mix on this. I think this was in pretty decent shape. Those were the few notes.
Yeah, I remember the rough draft being pretty good. There wasn't I didn't write a whole lot down. So.
Yeah. Chad, I don't think you heard or were here for the first half of this episode,
no,
but you've clearly heard the song because you put the drums to it.
We worked on
probably more than anybody else.
Probably more, yeah.
A few times.
So Brad probably only heard it once. Chad's heard it at least 20 times. Right. So
cool.
All right, so let's give this mix a listen. I like to stay up real late, 'cause at night you don't feel like you're wasting the day. You can let your mind race. Think about how I know I'm not fun like I used to be. I know I'm not young anymore. Apparently that didn't suit me. Maybe I feel better now that it's dark, where the worries are harder to see. I won't even need 'Cause at night you don't feel like you're wasting the day. You can let your mind race.
Did I tell you how much I liked that song in the first half, or was I half asleep?
No, you just talked about your frog drawing.
So this is trash. But the song's awesome.
Thank
so,
you.
like you mentioned before we started that we didn't talk about the theme, and I was like, well,
Yeah, it's something I noticed when I was editing.
So I was like, well, I didn't pay attention to the theme.
Mm-hmm. We're more awake now.
I read, I was kind of following along with the lyrics while we were going, and I think it's some of your better lyrics, I think.
Cool.
I don't know if it's us being like middle-aged people these days,
Getting old.
but like this kind of stuff, it
speaks to you.
It speaks to me, yeah, and I like it a lot. And the song, like the way it's written, it's like a pop song, right? And it's kind of different.
It's
for
very
you.
like straightforward, a very straightforward arrangement.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Verse, chorus type
but
of thing.
but
solo.
you do some cool things with the melody and the vocal, which is
That's like the pre-chorus there. No.
which is not. Like, if you gave me those chords and you took all your lyrics out, it's not what I would do, which is what I like about it, which is really cool. So I think it's done. I think it's an awesome job.
Too.
The drums sound amazing, like the going into the rim shots, and like it's very dynamic, right? And then it builds up at the end where it needs to. The solos are great. Like, I love the repetition on the one ear while the other one's kind of playing a solo. You have like a part you're playing, which is really cool. So
Yeah, Chad and I really talked about, while we were doing it, like talked through the different parts and what I wanted and what he was feeling. And I think it was a really productive session to get the drums, and I'm super happy with it.
I like how like there's the callback to the first verse at the end, which is, you close it how you opened it, which is cool. It's soft again.
Thing we did,
Yep.
for sure.
I like it a lot. So great job.
Shanna listened to this and she's like, this song is basically just like a window into your head.
Well, yeah, but you know what though? I would say that, but I would say that it's a window into your head now.
Yeah.
I don't read anything negative into any of this, right? And I would say 10 years ago it would be a lot more negative.
No, it's kind of like the like people are going out at 8:00 at night to the bar, or going to like places. I'm like, what? I'm in my pajamas.
Yeah, it's over, man. The day is done.
Kind of like that, but also like, I like to stay up late. It does give you time to think.
Yeah,
this is kind of also, laying in bed, not being able to sleep, thinking about your troubles, type of thing, which I think is pretty relatable.
Mm-hmm.
And that vocal cadence that you mentioned was a result of me being down here in the studio writing lyrics. I think I mentioned this before. It's like my new technique. Before, I would bounce the songs down, put them on my laptop, go up, upstairs and try to like sit there, listen to it over and over. But I'm doing that down here because I'm more comfortable. I can I shut the door. It's typically at night, I'm by myself. I can sing along with it to suss out melodies. And that's something that started happening. I didn't have the words, but I had the as I'm going along, and that worked out. That was a good way to go about it.
I find that you can pull things out of your subconscious that way. Like
you have to be in it. Like
a lot of my lyrics, sometimes I won't have them either. And I'll be playing and I'll just start singing something, and all of a sudden I'll have a theme that I can go by because I strung a couple words together somewhere along the lines. I'm like, I'll go with that, and you don't find I don't have to go back and change a lot of the lyrics, but you're moving forward.
I think I mentioned that on the episode for the song "Bye."
Yeah.
Where that chorus was something like I was looping the song here in the studio and just kind of heard the melody like, and then words came.
Yeah.
And they didn't make sense because there was no other words yet, but then that's something to build
eventually
around,
something, whatever you're feeling when you're hearing it, you'll sing something that matches that somehow.
Yeah. So that's
I don't know how
what
it happens.
Happened here. Like I had that, I had that cadence, and then the words started to come to it, and then you start.
I really like that part of the song too, like I know I'm not fun like I used to be. Like that's just a cool, I don't know.
That was the whole idea that the song was written about. I had mentioned the last time that we recorded that I had a song kind of about that before, and I lost the lyrics to it. It was something I had written in school. It never got turned into a song. It was just lyrics, and then they were on a computer, hard drive, whatever, they got lost. But that was the main idea. So that's what I took to write this song.
I like it.
Yeah.
No, it's over.
I think so.
Perfect.
I like how it turned out.
I really like what you did with the vocals as far as you're getting out of that realm of the effects.
Yeah, the double.
You add a clean, and what you make up for it is with the harmonies on your background vocals.
They make those so much more impactful when they come in instead of having that through the whole thing.
And they're clean.
They are clean. They sound good. Yeah. You did a really good job with your background vocals, I think, on this one.
Agreed.
And I think that just makes the chorus and those lines about
Maybe
the young anymore those trills.
It emboldens them.
It does. It does. Those trills on the end too. Yeah. I almost feel like you used a different vocal than we recorded with.
No,
Did
it
you?
just mixed. No,
okay.
It wasn't mixed before.
I almost thought you took a different note.
But you never,
of those.
You never used to do stuff like that.
What's that?
You never used to like end a line with a little run down or or trill like Chad said.
No,
like,
you're getting more comfortable.
Move it
with
at the end. Like
Yeah.
that song really it needs all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's what draws you into the emotion for me, right? That's what gets you into the lyrics. And
cool.
So I think that was well executed. It's good you brought that up because I meant to say something like that, Chad.
And where they kind of sit in the mix too. You're getting way better at backing them out a little bit. It's not your voice, it's your frequency.
Yeah.
Sometimes cuts.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I do have like an upper mid range type of thing that I've learned to dip Tone a little bit in the EQ.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, you should be able to go through a whole song and still pick out parts. And that's kind of what I could do with this time around is I could still hear your vocals, but I could still hear the bass guitar.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's
that's
almost what you have to do and I think you're getting way better at setting those vocals just back a little bit to where they mix.
Cool.
Very well.
That's good to hear.
Yes.
I just put a check mark.
Done?
It's fucking done, man.
It's
awesome.
I'm really happy with how this one turned out. And it's always a good feeling, and this happens a lot, when you finish a song and you're like, this is one of my best songs.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's what you want all of them.
Every time, you want everyone to be better than the one before, right?
I don't know if that's the case, but when you're in it, like
that's
you feel
up to
like
other
that,
people.
It's not the case all the time.
No,
but as long as you're having hills and valleys,
exactly.
And usually, sometimes it'll happen when you're writing it. It goes from I like this, to, I hate it. I like
and
this.
And if you're out there and you don't write songs, like it's one of the best feelings in the world. Like when you get it done, and you're like,
well, yeah,
and it's
that's
over.
why I like doing this so much. That's why this whole thing is so important.
It's so cool. Like you can't put it into words what that feels like when it's when it's so fresh. Like
I get that feeling working on your songs too. Like when we can get them.
I get it the most when like I get it to a point. And it used to be like I would just send it to you guys like right away.
Yeah.
Right? Like just check this out. I just got this done like a proud dad or something.
Yeah.
Like it's just really there's nothing that compares to that. It's fucking
Or
awesome.
when you take a big dump.
I mean, there's one thing that compares to it. It's dump. Dark dump.
So when
and that's what I get when I polish them too. I know that's kind of my role is to no.
You do.
No,
Chad.
to polish.
You're trying to get serious.
I don't write them.
Just wants to do a comedy show.
I can,
Now the addition of you to the show and all these songs,
huge.
Like going back and listening to seasons 1 and 2. I mean, they're good. But
it was a stepping stone.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But nothing like what drums do, man.
And
like
that's great that we still are finding these hurdles to step over and get better. Like you say with these vocals, like I'm trying this new technique and I think it's really panning out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like drums was a big deal. This is like dialing that in. We're really like the sounds are, I know we've mentioned this before, but we're getting better at recording
and
them.
recording the drums.
Yeah.
Like just from like our session, I know it takes a while for you, like you got to set them up and everything, but it used to be like cumbersome, right? Like, oh
hours,
shit, like drum day.
Yeah. Now
drum day
pretty
is
much
a
set.
bitch.
We can walk
you
in.
You nail it pretty quick. You do a couple of them at a time. And Chad's, for people that don't know, is one of the best guys that doesn't require a lot of listening to a song to get it in.
But I think us being in the room, like we have these, all the songs so far really helps too, because then you or I can be in there. We can convey like, well, I'm feeling this, and Chad can take it. And it's a really great collaboration that helps the songs.
Yep, that's awesome.
Yeah, obviously, Patrick's not here, but he's on his way.
I hadn't noticed.
He's not going to be on this episode unless we check in with him on the slopes.
Here we are from Alpine territory.
Yeah, hitting the slopes again with Patrick here. We're going to talk about my song Dark a little bit. Patrick, the Telecaster Solo was your suggestion. I put new strings on that thing.
I do love how clean
You had also mentioned like putting 16th notes, so I tried to kind of
Yeah,
do that.
I'm really, really happy with that. That's almost exactly what I was envisioning.
And the big thing was the slide guitar.
Yeah.
How I said I was going to put it in. You're like, don't.
Yeah.
And I listened to you.
Yeah.
And I just put a couple little accents in there for some of those breaks that I think worked a lot better.
I love the slide guitar, but sometimes it doesn't belong. You can't force it.
It didn't. I tried it.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
So,
you can't thirst trap me with slide guitar. So, yeah, I think you carved out exactly what I wanted, just like we carved up this mountain today.
All right. I think so. I think we should get out of here then. Hit these slopes again. All right. Hitting the slopes with Patrick. We're out. Our website is belongingsongs.com. There you can get a hold of us on the forums page. You can check out our merch. There's t-shirts, there's stickers, there's art prints. There are all the songs that you can listen to from all the seasons. Our Spotify playlist is cool. Please check that out. Link in the episode description. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. Feel free to leave us a review. That would really help as we search for more listeners this season. And I think that's going to do it. We're going to get out of here, and hopefully you will return to join us next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I came.
Thank you.
No, I can't.
You're gonna use that
Yeah,
all the time.
I
Just
fucked up.
I need to put it.
God damn it.
I need to put it on the end of this theme song, like Right On was for last year.
Damn it. Why'd you let me do that, Chad?
I came.
I did it again.
Play right side.
97.2 The Stride.
Whoa, not so fast. You're riding the stride with me, Jack Fathom, and my good buddy, Brad Bott.
Ready to roll.
All right, and we're here to take real good care of you because we love you.
Maybe I'll leave a different impression.
All right, well, I love you. High five. All right. And you know what it means when you hear us here at the end of a BS episode. It means we're here to give you some sneak previews of upcoming belonging songs. Sneak previews! All right, high five. So let's get right to it. The next song you're going to hear in your BS feed is from a new band called Thin Pleasures. And it's an instrumental double slammy. That's right. 2 songs for the price of 1. A mini slam and a coffin job. All right, let's take a little sneak peek. All right, high five. Yeah, and after that, we got a new song by Brad.
Thanks for giving me an opportunity.
No, not you, buddy. The real Brad.
I hope you're not doing well.
All right, and it's called Cheaters Always Find the Sun. Let's give it a taste.
Cheaters are always inevitable. But honestly, I've given up. The cheaters always find the sun. But I've been in the dark too long. Some know how to make things better. And don't sink underwater. But I
It's incredible.
I know. Well, that's all the songs that we have in the pipeline right now, which means that that's going to do it for this edition of The Stride.
The Stride.
But don't you worry. We'll be back again real soon to take real good care of you. And remember that I love you. And so does Bradbot. WWF. Kind of. And remember, as always, to stay tuned in.
Play right side.
97.2 The Stride.
I came.
Yeah, that's good. Boom, done. Next.